Thanks to the amazing folks over at Ameda City through the Predecessor Creators Guild, I've been given an opportunity to take a first look at Predecessor's upcoming patch, patch 1.4. This patch is absolutely massive and has some changes for every single hero in the game. It's also going to bring us our next Predecessor hero, Boris, who's going to be charging his way into Sanctuary. We got a lot to cover in this patch, so let's get to it. Wraith is a covert, stealthy marksman hero who's played usually in the middle lane, but can be played as a marksman in the dual lane as well. They've got a few changes that they've brought to his kit in this patch. We're going to go over those now. The first change is to his passive, Who's There? Now, this is the ability that allows him to throw out wards instead of having the standard wards that the rest of the heroes in this game have. His passive gives him multiple instances of a ward that he can shoot to a targeted area on the ground. What they've done here is that they've increased the duration of the wards and they've lowered the cooldown of the wards. So this gives you more opportunity for vision control, which is always a win. The next changes that they have made are to his primary ability, Peekaboo. This is an ability where he launches a grenade out that explodes, deals damage, slows, and marks an enemy for 3.5 seconds. With this ability, the changes that they've made is that they've increased the projectile speed, they have increased the gravity, they have increased the explosion radius. Now they have lowered the slow. They've lowered the damage and the physical scaling damage, as well as the magical power damage, because he's a hero who actually does both physical damage and magical damage. So overall, they've made the damage a little bit less with this grenade, but they've given it a larger explosion radius, which makes it easier to mark enemies, which we'll discuss as to why that's important. The next change that they have done is to his secondary ability, Surprise Surprise. Now, for those of you who are unaware, this ability allows Wraith to go camouflage and go invisible, gain some movement speed, and now they have added to where he has a single use of one enhanced jump, where he can jump at 250% the standard height for a jump. They've increased the physical penetration on this ability later at the later ranks, and they have lowered the cooldown. But the big use here is that he's got this extended jump, enhanced jump, and he has more uses because of the lowered cooldown. The next ability is his alternate ability, Knock Knock. Now, this is kind of the bread and butter of Wraith's kit. Essentially, he has a very long-range sniper shot that deals significant damage and can pierce through all terrains, which goes kind of in tandem with his warding ability. You like to know where enemies are around you, because then you can snipe them through terrain. The changes that they have made to this is that they've increased the range, they've added some damage per level, but overall, they have lowered the magical and physical scaling of the ability. So you can do a little bit less damage, but they've extended the range. Now, you remember me mentioning marking your enemies with his Peekaboo ability. This ability is the main way in which you will consume those marks. If you hit a marked unit with this ability, it's going to refund some of the mana cost, and it's going to lower the cooldown of this ability to 1 second. So it's great that it's easier to mark enemies with his lobbed grenade, because you want to mark as many people as you can to get as many snipes off as you can. The last change that they've made is a good one, I believe, to his ultimate ability, Back It Up. For those of you who aren't familiar with how his ultimate works, you essentially cast it on an enemy, and after a short delay, they are rewound in time back to where they were when you activated the ability on them. Now, a quality adjustment to this ability is that a target is marked after they're teleported, so you get a free snipe on them just as soon as they're rewound. The rewind duration is down, but the time rewound is extended, so it takes less time for them to come back in time, but they're gonna travel more. They're gonna travel further back in time from when you marked them. So overall, this is a big win for his ultimate. And those are all the changes to his abilities. So let me know what you guys think about Wraith in patch 1.4. Do you like his kit? Do you like the adjustments? And do you plan on playing it?